Last time out, we finished our 16th season at Mod to Lublin, and we were given a few things to look forward to for next year. However, the board have changed their mind, and as we're going to preview the 17th season at the club, they want me to now finish in the top 3 positions, reach the latter stages of the Puchar Polski, and actually get into the Champions League phase, regardless of what happens next. So, while we are improving our youth facilities, and we're working towards developing the best youth system in the country, things could be getting better, but also could be getting worse. And as things stand, on the 28th of June, we are expected to be the 4th best team in the league. We've got the best goalkeeper in the division, which is something we've always had at this point in time for the last maybe 4 years at this stage. And Davidovic is now considered one of the better players as well, so happy days in that regards. Because they got promoted, JLAB and Lublin has had their link with us terminated since they can't have a link with us when we're in the same division as they are. But that's fine. We've got a replacement being set up. And in fact, the board have said that they will allow me to choose the next club in our affiliate links. And I like to do that. And these are the teams that we've been given as an option. And there's not a lot of teams that would stand out and benefit us long term. But that being said, I've already chosen the team I want. It is Graphics Polski, and they have the best training facilities. And as far as I'm concerned, that makes them a good option for loans. So we're going to choose them as a team that we want to be our new affiliate. But now we're going to talk about the players out at the club. Michal Novak is still our best goalkeeper, and the fact he's still considered the best goalkeeper in the league is always a good sign for our point of view. He's got a contract with us until the next 4 seasons. Filip Vastek is coming back from his loan at Graphics Add-ons. He is considered a goalkeeper that is a good player for the second tier, so he might need another loan spell next season. Patrick Sofinski is a player that is considered a top-flight goalkeeper, and the fact he was playing in the top flight of the Czech League last year gives me a lot of faith that he is going to be a good player, even if he got relegated with them, but that's beside the point. Viktor Sokol is also a top-flight goalkeeper who's playing in the second tier last year, but his potential has finally given up the ghost, and he's only considered to be a good player for this division. But Deman Herman is a goalkeeper that has a lot of potential, even if he's very inconsistent. But for now, he is the second choice goalkeeper at the club right now, until all the loan players come back. Matthias Kowalski is still our #1 right back, and no surprise he is considered our better player. He's here for another 4 years at least. David Franczak was out on loan last year in the second tier, and actually did quite well for himself. He's now considered a top tier player who we'll be using around the first team this year if he doesn't go out on loan again this year. Marcin Litka is also one of those players that we'll be using both on the left and on the right, though he's definitely getting better on the left-hand side. So while he's wanted by Porto, Lechia Gdańsk and Wisla Kraków, I think we've got a good player that we can definitely use on both sides. And Marcin Litka is also still around. He's only a decent player, mind you, at this point. He doesn't like big matches, but he's consistent. Even if he's wanted by Jagiellonia, we've definitely got a player that is useful regardless. Speaking of the left-hand side though, Michal Niger is actually a centre-back and a left-back in my mind now, because we kind of need the extra bodies. And yes, he's not the best person for the role, but he's still good for what we're looking for. Even if we can use Victor Midura as a centre-back, a left-back, and a right-back. So, plenty of options for the role here. Michal Smuda is definitely one of the centre-backs we'll be using in the long term for this team. He might not be considered the best defender in the world, but he is a leading player for this division, so he's got some ability. Ernest Kokoska is definitely an exciting player. He was in the next gen last year at the age of 17, so he's got a lot of potential and a lot of ability. And I think he could be our star centre-back in the future. We've already talked about Niger, but he's definitely still a good player for this division, and that's important. Midura also is a player that we'll use at centre-back. He's still a good player there as well. Bartosz Busek is still a player that has a lot of ability, and while he's only a decent player for this division at this point in time, he still has the potential to get better and better. Whether or not he actually gets better than this, I don't know. He is one of my teams like Granada, so he's got some interest from other teams elsewhere, hasn't he? But then we got Sebastian Barkowiak, and maybe I should be throwing this guy into the first team as well. I do need to give him a new contract, mind you, but he's only 17. He's got a lot of potential. And while he's a second-tier player, he's still only 17. He's got a lot of room to grow. I just need to potentially get rid of that trade, honestly. And yes, Patrick Dida is still at the club. He got that team promoted last year, so I might send him there on loan again. Borlak is still a DM that is a legend at the club. Now, whether or not he's actually considered good enough for the team anymore for what we're looking for, I don't know, but Lega Vorsva wants him. He's 27, he relishes big matches, and he's consistent, so he's definitely someone I can use as a DM in the deep line playmaker role. And Vorsic is another one of those players that can be good there. He's also considered a good player at 2.5 stars common ability, so again, very useful. Damian Adamczyk is another one of those players that has potentially good potential ability, but might not have it anymore. He's still one of like Granada though, even if he's only a decent player for this division and he's inconsistent. He just has the ability to be good. He has all the roles for the playmaker position, and the fact he likes to dictate the tempo and try long-range passes means he's very useful at opening up defenses. That being said though, Granada are actually getting promoted from the second tier Spain, so that's not a bad team to want them. Simon Smolex is one of those players that I have a lot of faith in, and we might be getting close to reaching his full potential. He's a leading player for this division, and we're using him as a box-to-box midfielder because he looks very good. He can be a Mazar for us as well, though I don't think he'll get much better in the long term. According to my background team, he can only improve by a slight amount, but that's perfectly fine. Though Moje Jasinski is still considered my jewel in the midfield, though he's 22, he's better as a DM who could be a Segundo Volante, and should I be excited? He's only considered a good player though, and is consistent, but he didn't have the best of times at stages last year, even if this was his best season. He's not really had a bad season for us in the top flight, so that's a good sign, and after he put in a lot of complaints wanting to leave, he never left us, but hasn't improved either, so I think he has more room to grow personally, especially now we know he can definitely improve significantly in the future. Hubert Kananik is one of those players that was really useful for us last year, despite the fact I pretty much wrote him off. Playing as a Mazzala on the left-hand side and potentially as a box-to-box every now and again as well, he was useful as a substitute appearance, and I really liked what he provided me. The fact he's got 17 strength made him very useful for us in the box-to-box role. Yes, he didn't start a lot of times, but as a substitute player who can come up on the bench and rotate for us, he was very useful last year. But the person I'm going to be giving more first team football to this year is Miha Smelek, and he's very exciting for 17. He's considered a decent player for his division already, maybe even a good player, and he's got a lot of room to grow. The fact he's this good at 17 for us is useful, and he definitely made himself a hero for me in the Europa League when he scored in just his second game in the competition. He's not played for us in the league yet, but given what he's already done, I have reasons to believe he could be useful for me. Davidovic is our talisman in midfield though, on the wings, and potentially up front as a striker. A leading player for this division, second place last year in the Next Gen Award, and was given the nickname of the Polish Musiala. This guy is going to be a monster for us long term, and I'm very excited for what we can do with him this year. And the fact I think he can still grow and be better and better and could be our next superstar, that's a really good reason to be excited for this young talent. Pavlak is one of those players that I wish had been as good as I thought he could be. He's 28. I think this could be his last year at the club personally. A decent player only, and while he likes big matches and is consistent, he just has slowed down over the years, and Davidovic's taking over him in the pecking order means he's not had as much game time this year as he has the last couple of years, and it makes me wonder how good Davidovic could have been if he didn't break his ankle. But Pavlak has been useful over the years, and I will try to get a game where we can celebrate this guy's career in the future. Piotr Kotowski is a player that is mostly going to be used on the left side, but was out on loan to the team that we got promoted last year for the playoffs. So while it's not been amazing, he's still got the ability to do good things, and he's a leading player for the second tier. He could be a star for us, I think. I hope. Sebastian Gutowski is still a player that has potential to be good, and I think might not reach the heights I hoped. I think he's better than Pavlak at this point, but Gutowski is also a player that needs more football than we can probably give him at this point, which is a shame, but we could get some loan spells for him this year, depending on what I want to do with him, really. Kutera is a player that I thought would be much better than he ended up being. Maybe I just didn't give him the first team football he needed, but he has the potential to be a good player on the wings, but he's still only a good player for the second tier, and he doesn't like big matches, so do I just get rid of him? Looking at the left-hand side, we can see a lot of things to talk about here. Christian Kimmich is the star on the left-hand side, who could also be an amazing striker if we give him the first team football needed there. But on the left-hand side, I think that's his role now. He's a leading player for his division, and we are very strong up front at this point, and I think we've got a lot of options for this guy in the team. Alexander Supreme is just like Pavlak, though actually is good enough for what I'm looking for and has been giving us the quality I'd hoped over the years, even if he's massively overpaid for his ability. A good player for this division who likes big matches and has been consistent over the years, liked by the fans. I think this is his last big contract with us because he'll be 30 by the time his contract expires. Do I want to keep him around when he turns 29? I don't know. And I hope he doesn't get terrible by lack of first team football. He did start to struggle to get into the first team this year, at least in the last couple of years, because of the fact we've got Kimmich now looking good. But when Kimmich is not performing, this guy can come in, and he's been useful for that over the years. Jakub Zielinski, useful on both wings, decent player for his division, likes big matches, but is inconsistent. He's useful and has been good over the years. He has got 10 goals in 40 matches in the league, so while we've not really played him as a starter over the years, he has been useful. Last year was his worst season for a while, but he's barely getting any first team football with us, so it's not a shock that's the case. Kamian Pietron, a striker and an inverted winger on the left, who never really saw the potential I hoped he would get to. Decent player for this division, was actually in this division last year out on loan, though while he had a good start to the year, kind of fell off towards the end, and I don't think he's ever going to be good enough for our team. Michał Raski is the player that I think could be good enough for us long term. I gave him 2 appearances last year. He's one of our Leke Vorsabal, and he's a striker, an attacking midfielder, and a wing at the same time. So I could give him first team football or send him out on loan. He's listed for loan. He's a good player for the second division, so he can definitely get better. Andre Nesgoda, though, is the player that I think could be the long-term backup for Kimmich. He is 20. He's unambitious, yes, but while he's only a good player for the second tier, his last few years on loan have been productive, even if last year might not have been as productive as I hoped it would be because of how bad he did. But he was useful. He's done good things out on loan. Do I give him a spot in the first team this year? I don't know. I don't think I will, but he's got potential to be good. I just hope he reaches it, because I think he could be a leading player in the top tier in the future. And now we're talking about the strikers, and Davidovic and Kimmich are actually considered better than our 2 best strikers at this point, which I think says a lot. But Robert Kowalski is still our record goal scorer. He's still good, and he's only considered a good player for this division. Despite the fact he's consistent, despite the fact he likes big matches, despite the fact he's been good over the years, he's still not considered to be the top player. And despite the fact he scored over 160 goals in almost 340 matches, he needs work still. And I think this is his last long-term deal with us as a starter. And that pains me to say that, but I need a stronger striker coming through. Dariusz Jasinski, as a result of his last couple of seasons being really good in front of goal, has gotten to 100 league goals in 236 matches. He's also only considered to be a good player for this division. The last 5 years, he's gone at least 14 goals every year. Last year was his best season in front of goal, and I just hope he continues to do this because we need good players. We need our strikers to perform in the long term. But out of all the players I've got a team right now, Novak, Matthias Kowalski, Smolik, Maurice Jasinski, Davidovic and Kimmich are the only 6 players that really fit in my first team plans overall. The fact my striker position is not guaranteed says a lot, but given who's on the wings, I don't think I need to worry about that as much as I used to, which says a lot. Either way though, we have got our predictions, we have got where we want to be. I want to hear your thoughts and opinions down below. Will we finally get into the Champions League phase for the first time in many, many years? Can we win our 5th league title in a row? And can we break the duck in the cup? And will we win the Super Cup next time out? I want you to hear thoughts and opinions and all that down below because we're ending this here. I hope you guys have enjoyed yourselves. I hope you guys will like and share this video and that you also subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out a lot. But either way, until next time, goodbye and well, good night.